What up, y'all? What up, John Shamanic? What are you doing? Will Johnson over here? What's up, Prod? What you doing? Thought we might chat about what did we already do this morning? We talked about selections, maybe its impact on um, crypto prices, along with this game called the Second Life. Oh, it always gets upgraded. It's all over the place. Yes, yes, yes. I've been upgraded to this funny stuff for a little bit now. Had this for a couple months. Um, yeah. But yeah. So cryptos, and if you ever heard of this game called Second Life, it's basically like the original metaverse. It's kind of like the original version of Ready Player One and what metaverse is supposed to be. And I thought the game just kind of like went into nether regions of the universe. I didn't realize it was still a thing. So, and it came to my attention because I was reading up on your boy Dork Schmucker Flargy, whatever his name is, that guy, that whatever he is, if that's even a human being, I don't know what's going on with that thing. He had apparently fired 11,000 employees after investing $15 billion and then it not working out, I guess. And then this also will get into this VR headset that apparently somebody that made the person that designed it made it so if you were in the metaverse and you're wearing the headset, it would and you died in the metaverse, it would actually kill you in real life. And what kind of insane? What are we talking about right now? That's a real headline from yesterday. And then Zuckerberg today lays off 11,000 people, which is pretty obscene amount of people like that. You didn't kind of figure that out, but I'm sure it was all part of the master plan. And anyway, so Second Life was a game that came out in I think 2005, and it's kind of like The Sims meets Metaverse meets the movie Ready Player One. Yeah, and I was unaware that this game also um, people earn real money in it. Or they're making money, something to the tune of $60 million. The company had something like a GDP of $500 million, which is more than some small countries. It's just an online server, and people are, basically sim sitting it up. And these there are people that apparently were making good money by selling digital cats. I mean, same thing they're trying to do with the what do they call it? People are buying artwork that doesn't exist. It's some digital thing on here, and I don't know, whatever. Anyway, so that's a real thing. That company's been around for a while, and quite interesting. So day of election, Zuckerberg, nothing's working on the computers. The election sites weird. They're putting really weird people in positions of Senate and House of Reps, and everyone's got to play a game out of it. Who's got the red team? Who's got the blue team? But all of the cryptos are way down today. I didn't see exactly why, but all of them are way down. And what else? We got the VR headset that will actually kill you if you die in VR, virtual reality. Okay, sure. That's how they doing people now. That's how they gonna do you? Okay. Uh, yeah, yeah. I mean, that's Ready Player One stuff right there. I mean, they didn't have that part on the headset, but you could tell it was something they were probably working on. Um, it is an interesting digital realm out there, like in here somewhere. You might make some crypto moves. You might as well. I mean, from what I've read, not too much, not too much. I haven't read too much into it, but I mean, if it's tanking right now, you might be smart to look into what's tanked. Why? I mean, if it look it again, it doesn't really matter if it turns into real spendable money for whatever you need, be it cars, clothes, food, cocaine. I don't know what you do. If it's usable, why not? I mean, we people act like because you have a dollar bill that somehow that's not connected to a computer system anyways. It's like it's already digital spend. If you got a debit card, a credit card, whatever, it's all digital. Doesn't matter. It's going to go to crypto. I mean, the ideas of decentralization, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, it makes complete sense. But so we got that. We got let's see the Half Life. We got Zuckerberg's thing. We got well, I said Half Life, Second Life. But apparently, yeah. So that's still a thing. There's something. There's like still maybe a million users on the servers. Who knew? I'd seen it years ago. I was like, oh, this is interesting. I was like, this is interesting. That was a fun little thing, and then it turned into like I guess the motivation for doing the the metaverse and the what was the original Oculus Rift? Like if once they tie them all together and make the best version of it possible, people are going to it'll be Ready Player One type society. It's already going to happen. I think it will turn into it that way, but not as stark of a contrast. If you haven't seen the movie, I highly suggest it. I reference it often because it makes a lot of sense. How's Hey, I will. How's the music business, man? How's playing out live? Good times. I don't know where I want to go. I don't know how I was going to string all this together. I just was like, it was just a interesting headlines. And when you couple them all together, between the ridiculous look, I mean, obviously, as as mm, the controlling interests in the government, which are, in one way they'll be controlled by one corporation and the other side will be controlled by the other. So you wait for today and who wins. Obviously, if they stick with the Democrats, you know what's going to happen. And if they go with the Republican, you have a hope for something else. So you'd make your investments there. So what happens? I mean, I haven't paid attention to the complete thing, but there was a couple hilarious decisions to put in more Democrats where I didn't think anybody was that dumb anymore. Not that a Republican is going to fix anything, but you might be able to save the corporation of the United States and not completely throw everything into a ditch. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, so because of that, crypto it seems to be tied into the crypto going down. And why would they use today to announce for huge layoffs for the metaverse? An interesting bunch of headlines. I mean, they do. There's a reason. There's bullet points in a paper. There's a reason headlines. There's a reason that the newspaper. Uh, when you understand, like what northeast, west, south, it's um it's giving you a bunch of information on like giving obituaries and dead people and bad things. There's never anything good in the paper. I mean, there can be if you know how to use it, but it's always these like ridiculous tombstones, headstones, headlines. Yeah. So what kind of goofy things have they done to destroy the corporation of the United States today? It's cool because you're playing live, but you're jaded. In what way are you jaded with it, man? What you mean? What? Because you figured out it's also a business, and the people you play with, it's not just playing out. There's actually money involved, or what? Or are you just tired of playing the same clubs, or what? Is it too much of a is it too much of a high school thing there, where you're trying to get in where you fit in, but people got there. Yeah, we been here, we first kind of thing. Is it that? All right, so yeah, so I'm gonna re I'll probably do a third video today when I re uh evaluate who do they decide to put into places of, who won what race for Senate and House and whatever they were voting on, all that nonsense. And then we'll figure out like which direction, which way is the crypto going to go? Will there be saving of any of the corporate, um, I don't know, like are we turning everything over to electric cars, or is that does that get altered? Are they going to, because apparently if there's enough people in the House and the Senate that are Republican, they will 100% try to get rid of Biden. Which does what? I don't know. Because then what does that do? Just put Kamala in there? I mean, if you look at it from the large picture, it doesn't really matter what who wins where, what, when, how. It's just what part of what corporation is going to have controlling interest. That's all. I mean, yeah, get rid of Biden, I guess. It's not like, what do you think? Because you think Kamala's going to be any better? What kind of goofy stuff is this? When people fuck with you? What are you talking about? They fuck with you. In what way? Oh, you okay? Old motherfuckers, and you play. Okay, what up, Black Sun? What up, Melvin? Oh, so they're just old heads that have just been there doing it, and you're trying to add a little something like, this is the way we play Nashville, or Austin. See, I don't know about the Austin thing. I thought the Austin was a little fresher. I figured Nashville would not be no good. Nashville is Trashville, man. I thought Austin was a little more hip. Yeah, that's cool. You've earned some respect there. That's cool, man. Yes, 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 yes. Oh no, no, I know. Oh! I thought you said there were people fucking with you. Like, what are they fucking with you for? Okay, I hear you. I hear you. I thought you meant nah, people fuck with you, but you've earned some respect. Okay, okay, I got you. I got you. Understandable. I was like, well, the fuck are they fucking with you? NOLA. Okay. Let me explain. I'll explain New Orleans. Louisiana is a full-on red state, except for the majority of people that vote who live in New Orleans. So the state as a whole is very red, but as a populace that votes within city limits of New Orleans, it's very blue. But if you go out there and walk amongst the public, it's very not. I mean, if you said, if are they conservative or are they liberal, they right now they wouldn't be voting. Like, here, let me put it that way: the people that this city is representative of don't vote. If that makes more sense. So it wouldn't. People are smart enough to make a quality decision, and it would be. It's not. I don't see. I see the signs, and I know where they are, and I know what neighborhoods it in when I see a big blue sign. Vote for Democrats. I know who lives there. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, it's that neighborhood. It's the old fucking white person that thinks that they forgot they lived in New Orleans. Where the people here, they wouldn't be voting for none of the bullshit that's occurring right now. So there's that. If that makes sense. Yeah, I mean the city itself is very, very much whatever. Like there's no, it's like what it's fucking whatever you want to do. But that's the point, is because no one cares enough to vote except for the people that they're voting for their old money. They're voting for politics they've had their whole life. But literally, if go look at a voting thing, look at today's voting thing. The only county, the only area on the map in Louisiana. The rest of it is 100% red. And that's not to say that everybody out there is like Christian values or anything like that. I don't know. It's I guess most of the time, like our mayor now is is Democratic, but most people across the board are like, even the Democrats are like, she's really causing an issue here, Really? Like full on? You mean like snipped, clipped, added shit, or are we talking like they just are going back to the real? They're just cross dressing, and they just have to express themselves in a certain way. Or you talking people that have just gone through the whole surgery and everything? Because that's crazy to me. Because like, I mean, obviously it's crazy to anyone, especially depending on what age and like where did you get the money to do that? That's not a simple surgery, and it's not that safe either. There's lots of problems with that. I've known. Um, well, I can't say I've known, but secondhand, I guess, for take it for what it's worth. I've known plenty of people that are like, no, I'm actually in, psychotherapy, and I know those are the people that run these things, and they're like the amount of people we come in here that we have to deal with like the trauma afterwards, and they have to go, they'll go actually go and try to get it undone. They have to go through that whole process because of all of this is something new, dude. This is not a normal thing. Yeah, yeah. Will actually Nashville is hipper. Nashville is hipper than there. Oh, I went to Nashville. I can't say I liked it at all. I didn't. I thought it was a very racist, shitty city. I didn't like it. Maybe outside of the major drag, maybe, but I didn't. I was not a big fan of Nashville at all. One of my least favorite places I've ever been. And especially after I moved here, I'm like, yeah, you just try to fucking rip off New Orleans, and you're like a sorry sack of shit trying to be like this place. Something like it. So, same here. You're in Melbourne. Yeah, no shit. People flock there like trannies. Okay, well, I hear you. I hear you, blacks on trans, but like I'm talking like full on. I'm not saying there's too many people that call themselves trans that still have all of their body parts. They just go so far, like they're just drag queens. Oh, Oregon, really? Hormone blockers without parental consent? That's insane. And I'll tell you why that's okay. Like it's okay on some crazy level, is because the parents don't understand they don't own their children anymore. You know, that they haven't really ever. Go ask them about their birth certificate. They don't own their kid. State is always they're all wards of the state, so they can do that. Parents don't really have to say about it. Oh, they should. They know what they're doing, but they're too far lost themselves. Oh, you about to put your own band together? That's fucking cool. Young artsy types moving. Oh, you're saying up to Nashville? Because it seemed to me it was Nashville was the old heads, and Austin was like the new flock of hippity dippity 20 somethings, early 30s, and it was like popping off being a little different. Yeah, but that black that's crazy. The Oregon legalized hormone blockers. I mean, how do you? Jordan Peterson was talking about this. He's like, do you realize like those hormone blockers, like once the once a girl goes through puberty, there's going to be that whole mess that happens right there with the hormones all over the place. It's like they need to experience that part to figure out who they are, just like for boys too. But there's a period where you question things, and that's just what it is. But during those times of questioning, if their feelings are overridden, they don't even experience the life, and they're already like, nope, shut that shit off. It's like I don't know, man. We are not in the same place we used to be. This is not. We ain't in Kansas. We ain't in. I don't know. We went through some wormhole. We're into some sort of like real live living weird shit show of clownery and buffoonery and foolery. Yeah, was that like 10 years ago? I heard you. Ah, hey, yeah, they got hit with the hurricane right today, huh? Ain't that funny? They went for no, they've been Florida's been red though. Florida's been red. They had DeSantis has been red. Or is that his name, DeSantis or whatever? Florida's not blue state, is it? Yeah, CERN don't do the hurricanes. HARP does. Well, I assume that CERN might have. It went very red. I've seen that. Well, it's because I think it was Latino population. You can't really like, they probably went out and voted this time, and they're like, yeah, we're not okay with the whole dictator communist nonsense. That's why we left where we were. Wasn't that kind of feeling, the socialist communist kind of regime? And they're like, I don't think I want that. Yeah, but the harp is the major influence of that. But then there's other things they do to make the hurricanes. The CERN part of it, I guess. But how's it all the same day and they get a hurricane? Now this is what you get for doing that. And Will, there's a Instagram page. I forget the guy's name, but it's called "Shit is Getting Weird" Part Infinity, and he does like a daily like look at this crazy shit that's happening. And he does a little humor on it or whatever. Shit is getting weird. Part Infinity. Check that out. Yeah, Florida. If I was more familiar with the state, but there's like there's places to be and places like there's full on. Okay, this part of town is grandma, grandpa, and this is where people go for vacation. Then you got this part of town where it's full on like ghetto fucking Florida, whatever the hell they do in Florida, and alligators and shit. And then you got, me and all of those places that are a little more ritzy that I've been. And then there's the coast that just got hit by the hurricane. And that I've been down. It's like to me, Florida is a thing unto itself. Where if you say Louisiana, you're not talking about anywhere in Louisiana but New Orleans. So New Orleans is to me is the state of Louisiana. I know everywhere else is just country. There's not too many other cities here. But if you say Florida, you're like, well, what part? So that's why Florida's just like, oh, it's too much. I wouldn't know I don't know what city I'd go to. Yeah, I mean, the last show I did, we were talking about, again, I don't play the political thing. I do find it kind of humorous because it does shed light to how rigged the elections are or how stupid people actually are. And Pennsylvania, you failed. If that's real, if that's legitimate numbers of the percentage of people that really voted and really voted for the guy that I really think he might have part of his head might be filled with marbles. I don't know that he can put a complete coherent paragraph together for sure. He has troubles with just putting one string of words together that makes any sense at all. He's maybe less coherent than Joe Biden is. Fetterman or whatever his name is. He's in no way, shape, condition to do anything. I wouldn't let him make me a sub at Subway. I wouldn't let him greet people at Walmart. I wouldn't let him. I mean, you would as a business owner, you would not. He's unemployable completely. He couldn't. You wouldn't even trust him to like unpackage things. He couldn't even stock shelves. He put things in the wrong place. I'm sure of it. but that's who's Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania. Yeah, the whole Philadelphia, uh, Pittsburgh. I don't know where y'all voted from. I don't know how you did this. I don't know how you managed it, but y'all put that dude in. Yo, Bill Burr was right. He said he was talking about Pennsylvania. He was talking about, well, specifically he was talking about Philadelphia and how Philadelphia sucks. When I was there, I happened to be okay with Philadelphia, but the Philadelphia or Pittsburgh, I don't remember. He just basically said it's a piece of shit ass state. He said your city sucks, your state sucks, everything about your people suck. Remember that tirade he went on? He's not wrong. Those people are dumb as fuck. You can't be honest that that happened. So I will let that slide a little bit because I don't believe the results anyways. Just like the results of whoever's running the company right now. Yeah, now they do. Yeah, the simulation morphed. Well, uh, yeah, simulation morphed. Yeah, it's changing the kind of weird it is, changing the kind of crazy, changing the. It's just like I really thought that people as they get older, they get more mature, and we teach people better, and we get along more, and things get better and more comfortable, and in fact, and then let's just go ahead and let's throw everything on top of a society at once and just see how badly we can destroy the psyche of an entire nation. Not to mention the rest of the world, because as the U.S. goes, the rest of the world will go, and then throw everything else with the climate and other places and whatever's going on over there. I don't live in those countries, so I don't really have my ear to the pavement. I don't have my boots on the ground. I don't talk to these people like that. But shit's weird out there, dude. A new DLC package came out. I mean, in a sense, I mean, I know. Will are you crying or laughing? It's okay. You're allowed to cry and laugh. I cry and laugh just about every day. That's a fact. I do for different reasons. Most of the time, it's crying out of like I like music and it moves me. But sometimes it's like, wow, I really, yeah, I was, yeah, I thought I was like, oh, 2020, we'll get something figured out. And I think it was stratospheric where the people that started to know, more people knew a lot more, and then everybody else, they seemed like they got dumber. And not just because we're smarter, that even if they stayed the same, it was like we went up here and they were like, just I don't like the deviation of an intelligent person to an average person now is so far. Like, would you go? This is an intelligent person. You'd be like, it's pretty obvious who is and who isn't. Very clear. It's a very clear cut line. It's not. There's no gray area anymore. It really is pretty much gone. Which in some ways, when they talk about Nibiru and you know Saturnian coming through, and the chaff and the wheat and all of this, and like in a lot of ways, I think okay, we heard that shit up because this is getting silly at this point. I think we can make a clear distinction of who is a flaming hot pile of garbage and who isn't. I think we can make a pretty clear cut, like you go this way, you go this way. Yeah, Melvin, you ready for the zombie apocalypse? I mean, I think it's been a slow moving zombie apocalypse that you get bits and pieces of from time to time. And I think with the amount of people that got the carrot stuck in their arm and all that, I think those people, and see that they'll make fun of people that say something like that, because not realizing if I say the other words, this goes to shit. And they're like, well, why are you saying that? Why don't you just say it like this? Well, because that will immediately, so you got to talk in kind of like code. So retarded. I could say retard. I could say cunt, but I can't say that. Weird world. But yeah, it's like those people, um, they've been sick. They've been flopping all over like dead fish. There's all sorts of dilemmas with them. Not to mention everything else that goes into that, man. I'm not as far to go with. I'm leaning with the side of we're going to control everything with the 5G and people got this thing in their body and whatever. Like perhaps, but it's a possibility. And if so, my hope is that once enough people get it, and then whenever this if a zombie apocalypse occurs, and I'm being legit, and they can just hit a button and put kill switches on all of these people, because those are the ones that are going to be messed up anyways. Like what good, like what honestly, those people, like most of them, they're not really adding anything. Now, I can go to the highest form of, the Tao. There is nothing that is not of God. There's nothing that isn't Zen. Everything's a reflection of me. Sure. But in this skin suit, in this space, this time here, this is how I am, this is what I think, and this is my experiences. Can I know that they had experiences and they're going through a different life path? Yes. Do I like here's the thing, I forgive them for they know not what they do kind of thing. Yeah, we all fucking idiots in some ways. But like it's like at what point do you just like, all right, this is retarded. This is enough. Like if you lived the life of Vladimir Putin, you'd be him. If you lived the life of Donald Trump, you would be Donald Trump. I mean, would you not? You wouldn't just magically know what you know and make different life choices. You couldn't. You wouldn't even know it existed. Yeah, loving that dystopian, the nectar of dystopian ridiculousness. Yeah, it's like I was listening to like Dolores Cannon or someone like this, and this is an older talk. This is from years ago. Just simply saying that if there are people at this point, there's nothing you can do or say to get these people to wake up or whatever, or to pay attention, or to like, hey, be aware, be conscious, make some, you can make some different choices in your life and have a different future, and recognize what this TV is doing to you, recognize the influence the foods you're eating are having on you, recognize, be aware. Like that's what wake up means. It means to be conscious. It means the opposite of wake, really. But and so she's like, there's nothing you can do for these people because they're either going to or they're not. It's like you could, like we've put the silver platter in front of their face. We said, here is here, this is it. And they're like, nope, I like what I've been doing. And they just bang their head on the wall some more. Like, well, okay. And that was years ago. And so that's just like, I think something we got to go collectively. It sucks, but there's like nothing much you can say to these people. Like the information, the breadcrumbs, the whole thing, it's been there for people. You're not going to change their path unless they choose to go, huh, maybe that's it. I don't know how I missed that. And, it's up to them. What you gonna do? And if I can just be like frustrated all the time with everybody else not getting it, oh, I did that for a long time. It's still even it's a regular basis. We everybody here, everybody in the love and light and help people out community, because you all want to help everybody out. We still go through days where we got to go. Oh, you just got to sit back and go, oh, okay, all right, whatever you say, whatever you say. I mean, it is the interesting thing about if it's a simulation or if there's also the ability of say jumping timelines or going into a different realm or space like which exists. Would it um, would it not? I mean, it could be dystopian, but just as quickly as it could be something else. I mean, how much collective consciousness do we? How much until we get that 100th monkey? That collective. How much of that is influencing the state of the world, and how much of it is just maybe if you just think hard enough, you just wake up and it won't be like it is out here. What's up, Bart Callie? You watched a woke conference? How dysfunctional it all was? Yep. Oh, safe spaces, pronouns. Oh, who will be those guys, the leaders of the future? It's insanity. Like the worst thing you can do is well, I mean, so many different psychologists have explained it in a way when it's compelled language or compelling people to do the right thing, whatever you think the right thing is, that eventually becomes quite the opposite of what they're trying to accomplish. Of course, most of it in the beginning is it's like the road to hell is paved with good intentions. So hey, what's the better thing to do here? Probably do this, but then you start enforcing that as a thing that should be done, needs to be done. Then all of a sudden, you've gone so far with that that there's no you've actually put handcuffs on yourself and everything else that could help you. You've actually by doing this you've duct taped your own mouth. You know what I mean? Like that now all of a sudden you've actually thought policed yourself into a corner because you think the right thing to do is, and then you become actually the enforcer of the things that you hated. It's the same people that hate the people that try to enforce things now. They're very much anti this and anti that, and now they're like, well, we're anti that, but we're pro goodness, pro this, but yet they're the most outstandingly anti-freedom people. They want everybody to like they're so non-conformist that they're actually conformists. You ever seen these people? Like I'm just gonna wear. They become they become the antithesis to a thesis. And so by being the antithesis to a thesis, you only become the the whatever it is going to be on the other side. You're going to end up becoming exactly the thing that was thing that you hated right there. Now we're going to employ all of these ways of making someone say and do the things that we think are right. And all of a sudden now you've become the totalitarian overlord. And in fact, it won't even take individuals to do it. It just take the idea that as a collective, the righteous thing to do is the only good thing to do. But who makes that? Who makes that a assessment, assumption about what is good and righteous? Yeah, friend, you want some enlightenment? Nah, fuck off. Yep. Yeah, they become authoritarians. Exactly. They become authoritarians. Their need for comfort and safety and whatever. And it's like whenever remember growing up, they started this a long time ago. There was this free speech zone. No, there wasn't. The whole thing is free speech. You could go to a place where it's the opposite. You could go somewhere where, hey, we're not going to talk about that in here, and this is a place for not freedom of speech. We all know what those places are. You can't label something free speech when it was already granted. So you're going to double up on that? Yeah, authoritarian, totalitarian, and they can't even see it. They can't even sniff their own ridiculousness. They really can't. They're so blind to it. Like when you hear them trying to talk to anyone with any type of logic or reason, their mind explodes. Their mind becomes a very vile and violent place. Your violent desires What is it? What do they say in Westworld? Your violent desires will have a violent future or something like this. Oh, they will attack you. I mean, here's the thing: is they don't really want to fight. They want to verbally try to yell at you and probably do like their weak parents did, yelling at them all the time. And they think they could do that to everyone because if you respond in any way, then they're like, "You've attacked me." Well, they're sitting there literally going out of their way to harass and attack and verbally and otherwise. I mean, these are all activities that they're just yelling. I don't mind yelling, but I mean, there is a little bit of like you see some of these people like. I don't think there's a lot of people you wouldn't do that to, but now you're gonna be in this little space where everybody has got, and you're like, how is that person not in the wrong here? Yeah, there we go. They can't see it. They don't see the irony of it, and it's not even funny irony either. It's like they really. I've always kind of thought of it this way. Remember back when your parents maybe were trying to say, "Hey, man, love not war," and let's they would go to all the rallies and say, "Hey, we don't want to be in Vietnam, man," and all this and whatever they were rallying for. And it was like it seemed to have a noble cause to it. It seemed to be a little less regulated and controlled opposition. Maybe not, but now it's like these people think they're on the level of like what people suggest that maybe Martin Luther King was doing, or John F. Kennedy, or whatever. What do they think they were doing? They're putting themselves in that mindset that they're fighting for their own freedoms and everyone else's freedoms, except they don't want anybody else to have freedom. They want the freedom to do what they want, freedom to talk like they want to talk. But anybody else, if they do that, they're not going to be happy. They wouldn't be that happy with the results of trying that kind of that mouthy thing they do in people's face. There's a lot of places that will end up very, very bad for them, and it should. I'm not one to promote violence by any means, but they are very violent. And it's like, how far do they think they can go? They keep pushing the line, pushing it back, and think they're doing something that's helping. They really do. That's the dilemma. Circus of destruction. There we go. Oh, there you go, pork collie. It's in your name. You already know. Ah, Finn, that's hilarious. Yep. Yeah. They'll have their cameras out doing that wherever. That's not okay, is it? It happened to me the other day, a while back. Somebody threw their phone right in my face. I was like, "Get your fucking phone out of my face!" Just out of nowhere. So I went over. I was like, "You don't like that?" They slapped that out of my hand and were mad at me. I was like, Did you just totally forget what you did to me for no reason? Because you didn't. People are outlandish, outrageous. Uh-huh. Yep, that is that too. They are far and away. There's no strong person that would be on that side. None of them. Strong people will not. They won't. By far and away. That's why they all keep their masks on too. Mask up. That's cowardly. They have to know. They have to know inside of their hearts they're cowards. They're not loving. They're not accepting. That they're all weak, feeble, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. They have to know this somehow. So they're trying to reclaim power. How? And you to touch grass. Anything would help them. Finn, I hear you, bro. Yeah, their safe space. So that's theirs. Yeah, because you were somehow infringing on their safety by doing what? Yeah, exactly what they do. Uh-huh. Yeah. And they really think they really in their minds they think they're doing something. Well, Matthew Nixon, I assume there's a great deal of it that is a planned psyop. But you realize like the organizers of such things, they're not part of it. They stand to the side. And the people that organize, that 90% of them are just there to like be part of the shit show because they don't know what's going on. They're just like, oh, we'll show up to this rally. And there might be one or two people that is paid to be an instigator. That's a fact. So you just wonder who's the paid for cut here? Who's the instigator on purpose? Uh, yeah, you got another layer of see now we can go the other direction here, as Port Kali said. Yes, you got another layer of confirmation about the fluid nature of reality. Mandalish, yes, me too. Yeah, I've had a couple really weird mandala things where I'm certain that I altered I altered the past to some degree. I'm positive of it. I think you said cuttlefish. Yeah, yeah. I mean, isn't that what would happen in all of the rest of nature? In all of reality, the strong would not be allowing the weak to do anything. They would be protecting them and helping them, but they wouldn't be allowing them to control things. We wouldn't allow the bratty kid to grow up to run a business. We wouldn't let the little kid that tries to gets everything that mommy doesn't know how to, mother or the father doesn't know how to be a strong guy. Those little kids, they grow up to be special in our society. We have to label them special too and give them special like, oh, it's okay, you can do that. He's not okay. Is anybody the fuck okay? No, that's poor guy. Okay, so you got knowledge that the reason they study it. Oh yeah, yeah, memorize. Yeah, your books are worthless. Burn all the books. Yeah, the mind is moldable and malleable, but if you know something, you know something. You can't change that. Hey, friend, don't even worry about it, man. I mean, just realize, like, do me a favor, and if it's anything too fucked up, don't do that because it just fucks my channel up. You know what I'm saying? That's why I have to even, turn it down and talk somewhat in code about these things. You know what I'm saying? I'll try to get another channel on one of these platforms that we can say whatever the hell we want. It's not going to change much because it will just change whether I have to stop and think of a new word to use. So anything will change for me. And it's not like I don't have a pretty extensive vocabulary to explain my position on such ridiculous endeavors from these people. but that's interesting about the studying and memorizing. I mean, there's a word for that when you're taught from mouth to ear rather than writing something down. There's a specific word for that. Oh, that's what that one's I got. Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, that's obvious. I mean, that just goes into saying like they just in nature. What happens in nature? They all of the animals can be around having water. They can be around the same. They're not fighting. There's no problems. When it comes to let's thin out the herd, the pack, the whatever, the weakest one is the lion doesn't go and eat the strong antelope. Not because it doesn't want to fight, not because it couldn't catch it, but because it's doing a favor to the antelope tribe by getting rid of that weak, messed up one. That way, that one doesn't go back into and then recycle it. And all of a sudden, now all the antelopes are all goofy tards. You do that all across the board. Why do you think animals, for the majority, end up looking pretty much the same? They tend to be looking like powerful, as good as they could for that species. Yes, there might be some select few that are a little bigger, a little stronger, a little whatever. But generally speaking, they tend towards, you don't see animals that have all of this disease and disharmony. And there's not too often that you're finding these animals that have all of the problems that humans have, due to, I mean, we've caused some problems because if our water is poisoned, their water is poisoned. If our food supply is poisoned, then they're getting the downstream of that. So you'll see some screwed up animals. But as humans, we at least have the choice to some degree in what we consume and how we interact with things. But we've somehow allowed the weakest to become in places of authority and power and positioning things, where that doesn't work in nature like that. That's why nature has no opposable thumbs, doesn't go to a doctor, it doesn't do any of this other nonsense. And those things have been around just as long as we have. And they seem to be in a much better shape. They're much healthier. We associate animals with the ones that we interact with. In nature, they act very much different. You've just seen an animal in a cage or a dog in a house versus a feral dog or a cat or whatever. Wildly different creatures. So domestication of animals, change the animals. We've screwed animals up. Look at animals. They'll be like, oh, dogs get all these problems and and they have all of these issues. In nature, they don't. I guarantee you, these animals don't have these problems in nature. Dogs don't eat dog food in nature, do they? No. No one would ever. No one would ever choose to. They don't want that. Somebody made that. Why? And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, veterinarian. They wouldn't need the veterinarian if they weren't eating that food. You wouldn't need a Ronald McDonald house if people weren't eating McDonald's. What don't people get about this? um, hey, Port Cully, I'm not really following. What do you mean, phonics? I never heard of this. I'll have to look it up. Get a phone for wild animals so they evolute, so they evolve. Phonics, interesting. I mean, the animals, the way they bark, the way they communicate. Although, I mean, when I say animal, I say dog bark, but whatever. I mean, however they communicate, wildly different. And people are like, I mean, think about it think about it in just the human form. Depends on where did you grow up? Did you Who did you communicate with? Who did you interact with? How do you think you stand around anything? How do you like? It's just they're going to be you're going to be wildly different. You're going to be molded by your environment, by your language, what you speak. Oh, learn how to speak English or whatever. Like, well, I'm sorry, they grew up in the South. You grew up in Boston. You grew up over here. You all have different accents and different ways of speaking and communicating because of your local environment, the codexes you use. Yeah, man. Hey, Will, imagine if there was a bunch of weak ass gorillas. What would that be? Yeah, exactly. What is that? You've ever watched these things of like animals in the wild or whatever, these gorillas? Like, ugh. Why not? There's giant humans, there's little humans, there's all sorts of difference. But with that species, you're gonna show me a tiny elephant, show me a tiny rhinoceros. It's not You're not gonna find that. That would have gotten bred out of by a natural order of things, not selective breeding, not for any other reason than you did. Weakest link in the chain. You don't want a weak link in the chain. That's where we'll break. Get rid of the weak link. You are the weakest link. Goodbye. Yeah, there you go, friend. Gorilla straight ripped off of just grass, fruit, and bamboo. Hey, eat what you want, but go ahead, Buckaroo. Tell me all about. Oh, we're not made like gorillas. Yeah, okay. Except we still have the same exact features. Like we're pretty similar, I would say. 2 feet, 2 hands, mouth. I mean, we're kind of looking alike, aren't we? And they're just out here doing the veggie thing and somehow just grow to that. I don't know. No, plenty of people. I mean, if you want to eat meat, or what do you got to do? You're an omnivore. As a human, having this human experience, you're an omnivore. You can choose to do things that other creatures can't do. Oh, Port Cali, maybe the World Economic Forum. Yeah. Okay. Okay, when you said economics, I thought you meant phonics. I was like, is that like hooked on phonics or some shit? Have I ever met a real shaman? um, I've met people that I suppose, I mean, were maybe somewhat classified as such. People assume I am. I mean, I've taken people on journeys, whether just with or without substances, and people have often said that to me. What are you, some sort of shaman or something? Like, maybe. Isn't that what Terrence McKenna said? Said he was talking about artists and shamans, how they're self-selected, and then the difference between a shaman and a monk is a monk goes through what would be training per se. Like you would go and meet the other monks, and the monks would train you in the arts of this and that. Where shamans tend to, so like monks shave their heads, and there's ritual work, and they do it this way, and here's what we do, and from there they'll grow into the kind of monk they want to be, but they'll have some tenets for their philosophies. Where shamans go about it just like when you're doing art, you figure it out. You get it done. So in that way, so what does a shaman do? A shaman grows out his hair, his beard, and he's like, "This is what I look like." Monk says, "I want to have a new experience. Shave his head, get rid of yesterday, and let me start over and see what the world looks like." Great idea. Both of them are great ideas. Just usually one has a teacher, a specific. You can go out and find shaman teachers. I mean, at what point are you a shaman? There's no there's there's no school for it per se. I mean, there's people that do have schools. There are people that teach. Okay, so you went on some ayahuasca journeys. That doesn't make you a shaman. And I know people that probably have never done drugs, and they're just as much of a shaman as someone else. So you learned today, friend? Oh no, they don't want you to be free mentally or monetarily. They can't control you, and they want to see you. They don't want to see you happy and shining. No, because then it diminishes what they think they are. Yep. Because if you're like just out there levitating, flying, floating, you got the people got to come through. Like, oh, what he must have. How does he have all that? He must be part of some club. He must be some part of sold out to some cult. But anytime people get out from underneath that controlling thing and they speak their mind, do their own thing, immediately ridiculed. Immediately, you can't have that. You don't get away from the hive mind and not catch some of these. You. Now, people are really quick to become judgmental and unempathetic, which I can't understand. I mean, I don't. I'm always empathetic, and judgmental is not the word. It's like I just happen to like certain things and not other things I don't like. And same with people, same with their attitudes. There's parts about me that I was like, hey, I got to work on that. Part about other people. It's like I happen to like kiwi. I happen to not like uh, what don't I like? What fruit don't I like? Hmm. I don't know. I mean, I like mango. I guess I don't know what don't I like, but you know what I mean. Like, there's some food you just don't like. I don't like. Well, I don't like celery. I don't like celery. It's always. I hate broccoli unless it's cooked. But hey, you can like broccoli if you want. Some people I don't like the fucking attitude. Fuck you. How hard is it to say people are, tell somebody to fuck off? Like, I don't care what you think. Your thoughts do not do anything for me. uh-huh. Find the light of the Tao. Yes, 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 yes. Speaking of following the light of the Tao, I need to find my way to the the Goodwill because it's supposed to be cold next week. I need to get myself a hoodie and a pair of pants. So everybody wants to help a brother out. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. See, I told you I'm a cheap date. I don't even want new shit. I like Goodwill stuff. I'll need a pair of pants and a hoodie because it's going to be in the 60s, 50s actually during the night. So gonna need warm gear. Flowing in the ultimate. Yeah, sometimes it's there, sometimes it's easy. Other times it's you know like, oh, gotta deal with this stupid bullshit right now. It's goofy. What you gonna do? Yeah, that Finn. The part about like 90% of people, because what happens to them then is they feel diminished, and so they want you to. It's not that they really don't want you to be happy, because I think most people do. Everybody's like, I want to be happy. I want you to be happy, but if they can't be, it diminishes who they are as soon as you are something else. It's like some people know they can't accomplish what you accomplished. Go do something. I've had friends that are like just they're not that athletic, and it frustrates them. I'm like, you'll never be as athletic as me, and they can't accept it. They don't know what to do with it. It frustrates them. Like there's things like that mentally. I'm sorry, you don't have enough time in your life to know what I know. It's not gonna make sense to you. You haven't put the work in. Some people want, like if I see somebody that's big or stronger than me, I'm like, good for you. You put the work in. Congratulations. That doesn't take away from who the fuck I am. I used my time and chose to spend it a different way. I invested into other things that I can share with you. And if I need help moving something, you're a big motherfucker. You need to learn something. I can help you with something. It's like if people just took into their mind, like there's things that you know how to do that I cannot do. So I just don't know what those are. It just so happens that I'm really good at things that seem to be like very much there it is. Oh my God, look at that. Where somebody's like good at doing computer shit or whatever the hell it is that you do over there that maybe it's behind the scenes. It goes into the whole thing. It goes into the whole project. People find a way to make themselves feel worthless. I mean, just watch all the movies, man. It's always the weirdo, goof kid that saves the day somehow, right? One that was like, whoa, I didn't know he knew how to do all that. Yeah, Finn, yeah, he found some birds. Yeah, some days you're there, some days you aren't. You can't force it, man. Yeah. Yeah, when you're naturally in it, you can't, a lot of people are like, oh, but you'll be fine. Just go outside, sit in a tree, do this, breathing, da da da. That doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get into that state of like, you just walk down the street and all the good stuff happens. The lights change green, how it's like how Winnie the Pooh, it's called the Tao of Pooh, where Pooh is always just walking through life kind of with no, he was the Tao. There was no good, no bad, no nothing. He was like, here's some honey. Here's this. Time to take a nap, doing this, just going through life. I'm hungry. He did what all the monks would do. They'll tell you, when hungry, eat. When tired, sleep. Whatever it is, be that. And sometimes you're just not in you're not in the mood for something. You don't have to be. Do you think sometimes people think how he's cool, other people think, oh, that's just a natural? Yeah, I think so. But then you also have the people that contrast that with like, why is he so much like that, or why is she like that? Like, obviously, you can tell the difference between tryhards. People that try too hard, or people that like were gifted something. Like, people that worked for their money versus people that were gifted it. And then you got chicks that put too much makeup on and they do everything to look pretty. And your girls that just wake up in the morning and they just naturally are good. And there's that natural type of something that people have. Some people are naturally good at this or that. Other people are not. And then like the whole just being, like for me to be this way, I was not this way when I was younger. No way. There was the layers of oops, anxiety, depression, fear, whatever. And I'm just kind of like, you kind of just like, well, there's one more fuck I don't give. There's one more the shit I don't give. There's one more fuck you to you. And it just like, I don't, it's not that I want to go tell people to fuck off. I want everybody to have a good day. I give more people hugs than I flick off. You know what I mean? Like, I give lots of things away to people. But all in all, like, there used to be a time I would be like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, how can I, you know, now it's kind of like, well, I don't know if I have any fucks left today. Try to categorize nature. Yeah. Music in a box. Oh yeah. I mean, especially as a drummer, I play the fucking drums. What are you talking about? Like, yeah, some people get hooked into and specialize in one rhythm and they kind of go back to that rhythm. But then once you've played, once you've played the drums long enough, you kind of get out of that and find a whole new, patterns and rhythms and things. You might like something better than another, but no, you play music. I can see how in other instruments you might get stuck into something because it'd be a little more difficult to learn. Guitar is going to be easy to be a certain stylistically. Takes a little longer. To work, it's not sold in a box. No, it's not. Has he been on here lately? I think he was on here a couple days ago for a minute or two. He's been banging out in Spain, I think. Yeah, I see him once in a while on Instagram. I haven't seen him on here too much. Yeah, he can play. He can definitely play. me go refill my cup. I'll be right back, y'all. I think I'm gonna change it up. Brighton, UK, massive. Well, hello again. How's everyone? Whoever just showed up. You're always allowed to say. You're always allowed to say hello if you want to. We're just talking mess right now about. I don't know. What are we into here? Rhythm of life, shamanism stuff. I've covered most everything of the title of the video, so I've covered all that. Usually at about an hour in, we decide to take it into talking absolute nonsense mode. Oh, I told you I have to wait. I'm gonna wait till I'll do it. I'll do a third show today for everybody. Once I get all of the info on the American. No, it's okay. Let me rephrase that. It's not American. United States. Whatever they're doing for their corporation, and it does seem to be somewhat. It does have an impact on Americans. Americans as an idea. It's a people. It's not the United States corporation, but the corporation does have an impact, obviously, on the land dwellers, on the sovereigns, because they have somehow fooled the rest of this population into believing that the corporate world, the dead world, is the real world. Peace out, Finn. Yeah, enjoy, bro. What's up, Matthew Nixon? Oh yeah, yeah. You in the burbs in Philly? Hey, Matthew Nixon. That's a good friend of mine. Just moved up right next to there too, right outside of Philly. I forget the name of the town. Anyways, y'all fucked up bad. You know that, right? In the burbs. Matthew Nixon. Y'all, I know you didn't. You're not part of the problem. I know that. I mean, you might be, but your state as a totality, you fucked up bad today. Y'all went and voted that dude in that there's something very, very not right about him. Yeah, well, the Phillies suck. I'm not talking about your sports teams. I mean, the Phillies suck. You named ever a goddamn woman's horse, like a female horse, and your jersey. So I'm going to give you that Bill Burr rant. Nah, you guys voted that Fetterman guy in. Oh, what are you thinking? Mm. Well, you got to the championship, right? That's good, right? Did you guys go to the World Series or something? Because the Astros won that shit. Stros, baby. Oh, they voted Fetterman in, dude. I mean, obviously, Dr. Oz isn't quite much better, but his brain at least functions, you know? Like the other guy just like, hey, go do this. And he's like, uh-huh. They just like throw a ball and he'll be like, good ball. Like, yeah, it's like that. Versus like Oz is maybe because his brain works, it probably a little less controllable. Yeah, I'm serious, bro. Oh yeah, so you lost, you lost. Okay, well at least you got there. And my buddy's a big Houston fan, and that's why. So he's from H Town. So he's like Stros. Yeah, he's funny. So I wasn't really into baseball, but he would want to go watch the game. So I would go catch a baseball game at the bar with him. Yeah, he won. I find that completely, utterly reprehensible. Yeah, yeah. As much shit as he peddles, and as much as he's a doctor, and much as Oprah put him on, and 80% of what he was doing was okay. 20% of it was hot garbage. And he got his own show and everything. So you already know he's, but at least you know that. Where this dude is just, and he, and it was a close race, which I don't believe any of that anyways. But maybe you guys didn't vote him in, but I would. My assumption is it probably wasn't too far off. Yeah, at least Oz could do something helpful. There's something that he could probably get done. If somebody he still does maintain his. If somebody says there's a doctor here, he'd be like, oh yes, and he would help. At least he still has that. I think he's still somewhere in his body, somewhere in him. His brain works. I think he has empathy. I think he knows that he's sold out on a lot of accounts for certain. But this other dude, I don't think he knows the difference between an ice cream cone and a fucking brick. Who won in my state? Same dude that's always winning. Uh, one of the fucking Kennedys. I think one of the old Kennedy guys. This is a very, very, very red state, except for New Orleans. New Orleans proper is blue, but the rest of it wasn't even close. It was something like 65-30, or something stupid. Yeah, whatever his name is, one of the Kennedys, right? How's that, Black Sun? Yeah, I think he would probably try to eat a brick. I don't think he'd have any. Somebody just hand it to him. He'd be like, "Oh, he's not well." I do sometimes wonder, um, if I could access not necessarily the Akashic records, but like, hey, can I talk to my higher self real quick, like the real super highest person self, and be like, hey, did I sign up to go to Earth for this, or did somebody trick me? And if I'm there, I'm like, pretty funny, right? I'm like, no, it's not fucking funny. Why would you trick myself? Like, pretty good at that, right? Then I have to talk to myself, like, why would you do this? You're like, I got you. Just pay attention. Or I go and they're like, nah, you got swindled, dude. You got swindled. They sent your dumbass to Earth. You weren't supposed to go to Earth. They put you on the wrong spaceship, or wherever you flew over here. We put you on the wrong tube. Dropped you off on Earth. You weren't supposed to be on Earth because no one. I mean, so you're telling me everybody got swindled to be here? And then we're like, no, not everybody, because the people that are kind of controlling shit, that have all the good stuffs and all, they wanted to be there. Where the rest of you decided you should go and try to fucking, fix it, or they dropped you off the wrong place. It's the hot stuff. Fucking, it's crazy, right? What's up with Meta? We went through this all earlier. The simple of the long is your boy, fucking that guy, whatever his name is. I don't even know if he's a human anymore. I think he's a robot or whatever the hell he is, or a guy in a mask. Who knows? Uh, Schmuckerbergs, Schmuckerberger. He just fired 11,000 people because the metaverse ain't working. It's on the sides of it. But listen to the beginning of the show if you want to hear the whole thing. It wasn't. I didn't really go into too much detail other than made some associations to the game Second Life. Yeah, he goes, good night. I support fracking. Fracking's good. You want to elucidate me on this? You want to explain something to me? What's going on here? Like, what do you mean? You He's just letting the people know. Oh yeah, he's good. He's good. He's got fracking for us. Hey, sign this. We're the fracking guys. Okay, fracking. Yeah, well, you hear me on what I'm saying though. The metaverse not working is a win. I think that if we do have any kind of control over manipulating or changing or altering or morphing this world from this ridiculous place, that might be, most of the time I'm like, no, they're playing a trick here. I can see it. But this one, maybe it's on our side. Yeah, maybe we're doing our mission right. Yeah, hey, what's up, Carson? Of course, everybody here voted. What kind of loser would you be if you didn't vote? Where's your sticker at? Where's your I voted sticker? If you asses didn't go out there and vote for the good team, I don't know which one that is, but yeah, maybe that is a W for us with the metaverse. But the whole like the mission thing versus did we on our own, like they're like, okay, when we send you through this portal, you get no memory of saying this because there's no tasty backs. And they're like, did you explain everything to us, or did you just leave us fucking caught out here in the cold? And they'd be like, no, we told you everything, and you still decide, and I still decided to do this. This is what I chose to come to Earth for this. Fuck. Like that's it. Well, yeah, I'm gonna need a little more information on what the prize is here because this is no one would choose to do this. Nobody. Hey, I mean it's beautiful. Don't get me wrong. I can find prettiness and loveliness in the tiniest of spaces, especially if it's wet and attached to. Uh, yeah. Oh, you did? Nice, man. Thank you, Carson. I appreciate it. Hey, yeah, I'll run for it. I don't think I can though. I don't think I'd have that's too much paperwork, bro. I don't have enough campaign finances. I don't even know where I'd start. And being as much of an anti-authoritarian and somebody that's maybe more, mm, I don't know. I don't want to. I'm not atheist, and I'm not like anti-government. I'm an anarchist. I'm not completely anarchist. Not. I believe in God type things, of course. I'm not for no government. We need government. Everybody needs government, but not to the degree. So it'd be kind of hard for me to like be a leader of like like the leader of the anarchists. I think that makes no sense, right? Black Sun, his darkest before the Black Sun. Well, the Blood Moon was pretty dope. That was an interesting color and trip. People were saying that there was something else going on behind it, and there was like Rahu coming through. And some people call Rahu the Black Sun. So there's a lot of debate about the Black Sun and Rahu and the Center Sun, and I can't really. Although I did a whole maybe 4 years ago, 5 years ago, I did a video on Rahu and the Black Sun. Go look it up. Yeah, I mean, I don't know where that would start. We're too far divided. We're too far away from each other. How does that militia work? That would you would need a lot of people in one area. See, like I think that most of the southern states, people like make fun of them because literally in the South, no one's taking shit. Like in certain areas in major cities, there's places people won't go because that is unto itself pretty much a militia. A militia is a gang, right? There's places you wouldn't want to go in the South because, well, you in the wrong parts. And so that's that's the thing they always try to like, put that out there that they're in the wrong. The militias, those people, and I think they're naturally formed in certain areas. You'll drive over, yeah, come see me. I'll be around. Just ask. Yeah, like the fucking guy, Zen with the beard, that fucking dude. Oh, he's over there. Yeah, the moon was having quite the menstruation cycle. Yeah, you want to rendezvous? You want to rendezvous at the rendezvous? That's funny because it's kind of far from where I am now, but it's one of my favorite bars that I used to hang out at. The rendezvous, or the deja vu, but the rendezvous was cool. Am I gonna start my Christmas shopping? I mean, I wish I had any money to do that, man. Christmas shopping this year ain't happening. And I mean, hopefully, I'll be able to get some money together and at least have some leftover for gifts for people. But I don't really do it because it's Christmas. I just do it anytime, anyways. I still got to come up on dollars for my next Airbnb. So that's going to be that's a little bit of work to do. So if anybody wants to, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, blah blah blah, all that, there's an description box. You help your brother out. And if not, anybody want to split a fucking place, that'd make my life a lot easier. I'd rather split a place with somebody because that I can afford. Like that's not a problem. Doing this by myself, like can't afford it. Even with as little minimal that I eat, it's kind of tough. I mean, yeah. Where's Nola at? Oh, New Orleans. Matthew Nixon, New Orleans. Yeah, Louisiana. Greatest place on earth. You should already know this. Do I already have a Christmas tree? Yeah, right. The only Christmas trees I got is whatever somebody's smoking outside. Yeah, Christmas is cool if you understand its meaning and you celebrate it for that reason. That I'll give Christmas a pass for that reason. I hate the idea that it's turned into a commercial capitalist, holiday of buying too much shit. Thanksgiving can pretty much go fuck itself, but you can still use it as a day to. You can still hang out. You can, you just don't use it for the reason. It has nothing to do with what they tell you. You thought I was staying with a friend? No, I've been Airbnb, bro, because it's cheaper for me to Airbnb. Somebody did me a high quality service and got me a Airbnb for a month. And now so I'm just so I can stack a little cheddar. I can't afford to come up with first month uh, security deposit and last month, and then also get the water, the electricity, blah blah blah, and then get internet. Where Airbnb, it's just all inclusive, done, and it's ended up cheaper. But I mean, I'd rather split an Airbnb with somebody. I don't know. It wouldn't be that bad. I wouldn't mind having a roommate at this point. But again, like it's like all of my good friends that I would have been roommates with, they already live elsewhere in other cities. So like the people like legit that I could go to, like right now I could go to a, you know a half dozen different places that have options, but I don't want to be not in New Orleans. I don't. It's like then I might as well just go throw myself off a bridge. You know what I mean? um, and so the people like here, like I don't taking on a roommate for a long term. If I don't, that's like a whole thing. Like, oh, what if they end up being fucking weird or stinky or like fucking whatever? Like, I don't know anybody that's at that point in their like transitional phase, getting a place. Like, I know people that already have a place or a roommate or whatever. So that's what's up. Yeah, one room efficiency. Yeah, I mean, even at that. even at the efficiency level, it's still honestly it's still cheaper to Airbnb for a bunch of reasons. Airbnb is cheaper because it's all inclusive. I don't have to think about the electricity. Electricity's bills going to be going up during the winter, not just because it's the winter, but because there's kind of a monopoly down here. So that's already going up. Then you factor in the other things that we know are going on, food costs going up, et cetera, et cetera. Oh, there's a housing insurance is going up down here that I already checked this out. Um, so between electricity going up, water, then I got a internet, and I'll be paying more. And that's too much shit to do. I just want to go. Okay, I got a place, and also furnishing. And I'm way out of it. So Airbnb works because it works out this way too, because so many people bought property down here with the expectations of renting it every month, and then the whole thing happened with the a couple years ago. You remember that thing that happened where basically nobody's traveling, they're not coming to places that people travel to, i.e. New Orleans. So everybody's eating their shorts, eating their hat. So they're just bleeding money on properties. So it affected how much they were willing to take. So it's actually as cheap to get, because so everybody else that owns a house, they already had people in there. So for them, they already bought the house, paid for whatever. These places are kind of like, oh, they thought they was about to make money over the past 2 years. Nobody on Airbnb is making no money. So they're willing to do whatever they can to rent a place out. Yeah, Black Sun, I hear you. Oh yeah, Black Sun, what the fuck are you doing? Come down, dude. There's a casino right there. Get a transfer. Go work for Harris. There's a Harris right there. I mean, if you're making bank, if you're dealing cards, and it's way better down here. Come down here, be my roommate. Let me fucking know you. Come on, do it. It'll be so much fun. You could hang out with me. We could go fuck around. And you deal cards with like fucking rail some hookers and listen to music and play with the ducks and do all the cool shit. Whatever, man. Yeah, Matthew, he did. I don't know what he's been doing. I really don't know. I haven't chatted with him lately. Um, I mean, because last I knew, he had like he was waiting on getting some insurance money or something, because I think he got hurt on the job. I don't remember exactly what it was, but last I talked to him, he's like, I was invited, but again, that's as going to Florida is the same as go. I got a place in North Carolina, a place in Texas, a place in Chicago, a place in, like, there's places I could go. It's just like I just don't want to be in any of those cities at all. But and also the Florida place is super far from here. You think it's close, but it's down around the thing. And so I haven't really talked to him. So I don't. He was waiting on money from something, and maybe he didn't get it. I don't know. Maybe he didn't get it yet. So he got Nick Sun and Black Sun. Nickerson. Yeah, do I? Yeah, I don't think Black Sun. I don't fuck with you on Instagram, do I? There's this dude that I follow. His name is Jason Ladani, and He's a card mechanic who's been he does shows, and I guess he's been doing it for 35 years. And I've seen him do card tricks off the deal with the casino wash and a legit shuffle that I mean he's dealing out like he'll put cards wherever he wants them. I have no clue how he does it. And they're just fresh decks. I mean, he's legit. He's shown a couple of the card tricks he does, and he's like, I just know where I'm putting the cards as I shuffle. He can do like the Pharaoh shuffle like with one hand. Take two decks. You put the two. Yeah. You take split them in half and put the cards together. I don't know if anybody else knows this. I mean, I'm sure he knows. And then you normally put two hands. You put them together, and then you kind of feather them in. We can feather them in perfectly with one hand, blindfolded. Like he's like that good. Yeah, I didn't think so. Uh-huh. Nice, nice. Yeah, hey, Black Sun, I'm telling you, legitimately. Fucking, what do you got to do so what do you got to do that's so goddamn important that Portland's awesome? New Orleans is way better for a billion reasons, and you know this. Better weather, lots of people to visit. There's a river. There's all sorts of cool shit everywhere. There's music every night, everywhere. Shit's 24 hours. It's always something to do. 100K, oh, we'd be fine. You'd be paying nothing on rent. Mm. Job in a casino, man. I don't know. I don't know how employable I am anywhere. I mean, for me too. Like I also like jobby jobs and shit. I'm the you don't really prefer them. I wouldn't mind doing some legit part time bullshit. Like I almost started building houses with somebody, but it was kind of hit or miss on when he needed me, and like I was like, and that's under the table. I'm not trying to work versus where I'm being taxed. Gotta be honest. Best poker in the country. Portland sucks. Well, there you go. You're dealing clubs? Oh, okay. Well, I don't know anything about how that works then in Portland. I don't know. I don't even know what that means, dude. I hear what you're saying. I think I hear what you're saying, but I didn't know. You know, I don't know anything about that underground or whatever circuit of. I mean, I know that people play all over the place. There's enough rich people down here, whether living or visiting. When you say you deal in clubs, like what does that even mean? Like not a full on casino, like a strip club? Like if I just don't know because certain cities have they're set up different. Like you go to one city, has strip clubs like this. One city I've gone to, I used to live in a place. You had to bring your own liquor. You had to bring your own liquor. You were allowed to bring liquor. In fact, you were encouraged to. There was a cover charge, and you had to bring your own liquor. Really weird. Other places, chicks take all their clothes off. Other places, just the top. Other places, like it's a whole fucking thing. I know. Oh, for real? I mean, if you know it like that, because obviously it seems like you do. The amount of money that runs through the city is stupid. I mean, and because like I don't know if you've seen the video I did a couple weeks back when I was staying over at that mansion. Like some of these Airbnbs, I'm talking like thousands and thousands of dollars a night just for, and then like we're talking like 20K a week. in the off season. I mean, there's a lot of a lot of rich people down there, especially depending on the neighborhood and coming through here and then out of here. Lots of people with money. And I'm sure like you can walk in. I don't know how you do it again, but there's so many nice hotels and shit that I'm sure there's rooms that people play in or whatever. I mean, if you do it that way, oh, put me on, put me on. Like, I'm not an idiot playing cards. I'm not. Oh, like not an Indian owned casino, just a poker room. Okay, I see. I've never heard that. Here, I'm not sure what the rules are. I think here, there's actually fuck clubs you can just walk into on Bourbon Street and people are having sex on stage. So I'm pretty sure they can show everything. I mean, in those places, you can't do anything. You can't get involved. There's no touchy. But you can literally walk in, sit down, and have a burger and watch two people fuck. So that's cool. I mean, I've done it. I just was like, oh, this is. I'm not. It doesn't make me hungry. I'll drink a beer. This is cool to watch. Smells different in here. So yeah, I've never heard of places that have poker rooms per se. I never knew of this as a thing. I thought you just meant like you could start a game at a hotel and know some people, or start a game at like a house or whatever. Yeah, not Indian. Well, I've been to some Indian, reservations and casinos. Like down here, it's like there's slot machines. There's video poker and slot machines in almost every dive bar, and even in restaurants. There's like a little back room for gaming, and people are in there, you know, burning down cigarettes, playing for like a lot of money. I've seen like weird people just like got hundies. Just I'm like, girl, you are like just an old crackhead woman just smoking cigarettes and putting hundies in the machine. Like, what the hell is going on? So they played poker. It's usually the video poker though. uh, oh yeah, for sure, man. Port Cali, of course. Yeah, keep the mood, man. Keep the mood for sure. I'm in a good mood. I got a glass of wine. Get to talk some shit with you guys. I hear you. I hear you. Well, yeah, it's the tax on it is more of a it's more of a principle thing for you, right? It's more of a like even if you were making more money, I don't know I don't know. I've known a couple people that deal over there. I don't know what tables they're dealing at. But they make decent money. Uh, I don't know what the taxing structure is. Like for me, even if I can make 100 doing my own thing, I make 150, but I'm taxed. Even if I make 200 and I'm taxed, it's just a fucking principle. Like, oh, if you want to tax me as thanks for having this giant ass casino here, and let me pay you for having this beautiful building and all these people to walk through, but me to pay the fucking when those casinos probably ain't paying nothing in taxes to any of the governments or anything, but I'm gonna pay taxes. I don't know. I don't like that. Hmm. Yeah, it's the principle thing. Oh, I love roulette. Roulette. So roulette. I made $2 on a scratch off the other day. Well, I'll tell you, Blackson, no matter what the fucking thing it is, just take a couple days off. Fly the fuck down. I'll have a new place on the other side of town, closer to cool shit. I'm kind of in the cut right now. It's all right. I got an extra bedroom. You'd come down, stay for a couple of days, check out the city, see what it's about. Who the fuck knows? Come enjoy. Depends on when you come down. If it's next month, I'll be across town, which will be a nicer pad. Nice. We'll see though. I have a couple options of where to go next. Yeah, you should, man. Fuck else you got to do. And you'd be my like doesn't victim. And don't worry. I will not. You will not end up in the back of an Oldsmobile or in the river or anything. Don't worry about that. Everybody makes it home safe. Oh yeah. Oh, and I don't know what else you're into, but I mean, whatever you're into, it's easy to find. Oh, it's now completely like weed is very, I don't know if you smoke, but that's very legal here now. I mean, it's always been. I've been here for 12 years, and nobody ever did anything about it. No, the cops don't give a fuck. But now it's actually legal, and it's easily acquired. And there's like medical dispensaries, but it's kind of expensive. So I still know people that have. And oh yeah, I tour guide for people all the time, and usually not from people. When people will come down from other cities, it's kind of just the assumption is, well, show me what the fuck's up. But like even people that I just meet in the streets, sometimes they're like, hey, where's something at? And people are just like, can we hang out with you? I was like, okay. I was like, I'll tour guide, and they're like, oh, we got your drinks. I was like, let's do it. So sometimes I just randomly tour guide for people for drinks. Yeah, Matthew Nixon. Yeah, come down. I mean, you invited. Oh, you on the kratom? Oh, nice. You're down for all kinds of degeneracy. Okay, good. I personally, I will involve myself in such endeavors from time to time for special events, but it's not my, as much as you can, I drink beer. I'll get high with somebody if somebody's got some good blow, but it's in between. But we do have a really awesome spot that sells really good kratom, and I know it's really good kratom because I've had kratom from other shops and things. But the owner of the place, he's very much into making sure he has quality product of whatever he has. Like it's set up nice, and they used to sell. They just redid it a little bit. I think he sold it actually to another friend of mine, which is even better. Anyways, yeah, the kratom here is really good, and it's not that expensive. I think I can get like $45 for how many grams? Oh, I don't know. It's quite a bit. Maybe like 12 drinks worth. I'm assuming you do like teas or whatever. Yeah, man. Yeah, good stuff. Which ones do I do? Oh, he got all of them. He's got the Bali, the Mangda, the green, the white, the red, the gold, and they're all like he has he ordered a bunch to begin with and tries them all out, and then let's figure out which is the best. And yeah. Uh, which is the best kind? Well, it depends. I mean, if you want like if you're mentally challenged versus if you want a body buzz versus if you want like some are more euphoric and downers, and some are kind of uppers and heady. Um, I think the white and the gold are heady uppers, and the green and the red tend to be because they're depending on what country they came from, but they tend to be a little more euphoric and downers. So like I'm pretty sure red and green, Bali and Mangda. Green Mangda is across the board, pretty much what everybody goes for. Yeah. You do the white ones, Black Sun? Yeah, those are a little more heady, right? They're a little more like if you got to go to work, you could actually use that. Or if you did the Mang Da or you did something like the uh red Bali or whatever, it's gonna be kind of a or not or the gold Bali, it'd be like a downer. And you might have trouble dealing. Or the other one's definitely more of an upper. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, you can mix the colors. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. So you know what's up. Yeah, the white ones are you can stay up on that. Yeah, yeah. And it's nice because it's a very sippable drink, and I like the taste. Green, no, green is more euphoric. Green is the green Mangda at least. I don't know. Again, you have depending on where it came from, it will have a slightly different. The veins in it will let you know. Just look up. You might have to go to a couple different pages to validate the info, but um, there's most of them. You just put in kratom and the strains and what they're good for, and most of the websites are pretty good. You'll know if it's a good website once you start reading it. If it's in a different language, you're like, what the fuck's going on here? If they start spelling things wrong, like yeah, the white heady stuff. Yeah, the green Mangdal though is euphoric. It's body. I like that because I like to walk around with it. So you can't mix it too much with beer. How many grams? Okay, so what do you do? You do about what is it about a teaspoon and change? So like what about 7 grams for one drink? Is this what we're talking about? About 7 grams for a drink? And I think they sell. I don't know. If you go to if you looked it up on Lucy Goosey, it's like 45, $50 for I think 100 grams. Not sure. It's I haven't bought it in a couple months, but yeah, I think I probably get like a dozen drinks out of it, which makes it, like $3 a drink, I guess, $4 a drink. Or if I get them to do it, it's $10 for a drink. Teaspoon every few hours. Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. How do you do it with the capsules? Because I don't do the cap. I just like sipping on it because I like the flavor. Because I put it with tea and also you can mix it with okay, I got you. Nice, nice, nice. Well, I mix it sometimes with the kava, kava with some kratom, because then you get a really nice. I mean that probably isn't good for for if you have work to do, but it's nice to walk around aimlessly in. Just in powder or just in water? Oh no, no, no. See, so you just want it for the effect. You just good to go. I got you. See, I prefer sipping on it, and also that way I can regulate it with my beer because I still want the beer buzz. But I've also made the mistake of drinking too much beer and too much kratom, and that's a no good hangover. That is bad. It was one of the worst I ever had. Which is it's just funny when you tell somebody a certain kind of drug, they're just assumed. Like remember when you used to be able to like, let's smoke some weed? We used to say, let's smoke some weed. You knew what you were getting. You were getting high. Now it's like, well, what kind of fucking strain do you have, and what are we doing here? Like, which direction are we going? Are we going out? Are we sitting in? Are we gonna go on a fucking spaceship ride to somewhere? Oh man, that's what's up. See, then, I'm totally down to like kratom and poppy seeds, kratom, poppy seeds, and some beer. Fucking just walk around the park and play with the ducks. It's a good day for me. Or sit at the river, listen to music and shit. That's all right. That's what you were saying a while ago. That's awesome, man. I'm glad you got off of that. Yeah, for me, everything, the only staple of my diet really is beer. And even that is maybe 4 days a week. And I take off a day or two because I'm just like I can't binge drink this long. Everybody wants to go hang out. I'm like, I just fucking gotta go. Like, no. And poppy. Oh no, no. Yeah, poppy seeds. Yeah, poppy seeds make they're basically kratom, poppy seeds, and heroin. Use poppy seeds to turn into heroin, which is well, I mean that's just adding too much. But kratom and poppy seeds by themselves as a natural thing, oh, it's good. It's good. Very good stuff. And it's very much non-addictive, but it will give you at least a little bit of a high. But that's cool, Black Son. I forgot you were heroin. That's awesome. I've only known a few people that do really really hard drugs to even attempt, like get off of them. I've known other people that they're just like, nah, this is just what I do. I'm like, all right, that's what you do. Yes, yes, yes. Like poppy seeds, poppy tea, which is kind of hard to find these days. Maybe he knows. But you have to get them unwashed, and a lot of stuff you find it comes washed. So if they're poppy seeds are not black, they're black with white on them, and that white stuff is the good stuff. And then just make a tea with lemon or whatever. You can extract it a few different ways, and it's a very much less addictive quality of if you have a lot of pain, it helps you with pain management, and it's less addictive than heroin or any of the stuff you get from what's the other stuff that people get when you go to the doctor? It's very very addictive. What the hell is that shit called? Because a friend of mine went to the doctor for oh I forget what the hell she had something done. They gave her the what the fuck. When they give it to you, they don't give you. They're like, we can only give you this much because it's so addictive. The fuck is that stuff called? Yeah, poppy seeds now are probably fence. Maybe, dude. I don't know. Can't trust none of this shit no more. Hey, so Black, so you said in your early 20s. How old are you now? You said early 20s, so you were on the H for a while, and then the kratom fix that up for you. That's awesome. See that's the thing. That's ain't that the fucking funny thing? You could granted these other schedule whatever drugs they're illegal, right? But you can find them, and we know how they get there. We know how they get in the streets. We know where they come from. But then they try to make a plant, a simple plant like kratom. They try to make that legal. Why? Because it has a very similar effect, and it's less addictive, and it's cheaper than getting whatever from the fucking doctor. It's a game, man. Legal drug trade, man. I mean, I'm not against drugs at all. I think they all should be legal. I don't think it's never changed my mind on the fucking you're getting right to the master number. Cheers. Yeah, it never changed my mind on the issue of the legality to it because everything to me is lawful. You know, legality has never mattered to anybody that does drugs. It's just saying like how is that a bad drug? Is it a good drug? And it never made me want to or not want to do something. Like I either like it or I don't. There's not, and I guess I lucked out because I really don't have that much of an addictive personality to things like that. That's like I don't like caffeine too often. I don't like weed so much anymore. I can I can take it or leave it when it comes to any other substance really. Um, sure. Snola is nice around Christmas. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, it's amazing. There's something you look it up. It's called it's called the something. If you look up New Orleans calendar and then go to like the official New Orleans website and then go to the search by what's going on this month, there's a Christmas light special that they do for the month through City Park, and they light up the whole park. So for the last 2 years, it was you had to drive through the bitch, but normally it's a walking thing, and they'll be walking again this year, and it's awesome. It's like a big part of the park. It's a huge like outdoor. There's huge dinosaurs and Christmas trees, and like they do lighting all year. So it's like a month worth of that. So I think they started like right before Thanksgiving. So it should be within the next couple of weeks. It's called it's called Christmas in the Oaks, maybe. And then you can see some of the pictures. It's totally rad. And yeah, it's tourism here doesn't it doesn't really the off season is just when it's too hot for everyone. Nobody wants to travel down here when it's August. But then it picks up. Like it was busy in October for Halloween because it's huge for Halloween. The weather is perfect. Yeah, yeah, it's and the city park here is super gigantic. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. I don't remember like when they were doing it by the car thing, it was weird. So you have to drive through the thing and you pay, and not, but then what they used to do is the entry was different. You had to find places to park to get to the city park, and then you could rent a bike or bring your bike, do it that way, or you could just walk it. And if you walked on the outside, you didn't have to pay anything. There's no real way of stopping you from going and participating. You know, it was kind of like a honor system, like go to the front and give them $5 or whatever. Yeah, and there's a lot of hotels here that do amazing in the lobbies of the like I mean think of the biggest hotels anywhere and like the nicest fanciest ones and they're just like they the lobbies are like a whole thing. There's a couple that I go to that are they're really fantastic. They're very good if you were on your mushrooms or your maybe I mean some people like to sit or whatever. Yeah. Yeah, the city park thing is really awesome. They do that and they probably do fireworks and everything. Oh, they do the fireworks down in the river. They do them a couple times a year. I mean, obviously Fourth of July, and I think they do Christmas and New Year's, and then maybe like one other just crazy event. There's always something going on somewhere. I should work for the board of tourism for the city. Oh shit. Okay, this is cool. This might work out. Mm-hmm. I was just talking to you. A I don't know, Black Son, if you're still here. A buddy of mine just texted me. Oddly enough, he was trying to get a place. Me and him were trying to get a place because very similar thing happened. Like he kind of broke up with his girl, and there was like a whole thing, and so he had to find a place to be. And he's like, so he got into like a month to month, and I was like, dude, would you rather just fucking have me as roommate? He's like, fuck yeah, I would. And so he just texted me that there's a couple places that he found they're much cheaper. You better get on your game. And obviously, if you do come down, like he's cool as shit. It doesn't matter if you came down; we can still. Yeah, long weekends, man. It better be a long weekend because it'll turn into that no matter what. Unless you're good traveling, hung the fuck over. I don't. It's when I go out, I have to have the mentality that I might not be home early tonight. I can't go out with the mentality that I'm gonna go out and have a couple of drinks and be home by 9. Sometimes I can, but other times I'm just like I might be home at 5 in the morning, or I might wake up in a hotel. I don't fucking know. If I go out to a bar, oh, I'm not like most of the time I walk around the streets. It's because it's a better, it's free music, and I know most of everybody that walks the streets and plays music, and it's more fun, and I can kind of fuck around with them, and I can bring, you can drink in the streets, so I like that aspect of it. Um, but if you go into a bar, oh, you're guaranteed to turn it into a whole fucking mess of a night. Because then you're gonna meet somebody, and they're like, "Hey, I'm gonna meet them over here, or let's go do this," and then all of a sudden, you might be at a house party, and then all of a sudden, that's a whole different attitude. Talking about Psy, Black Sun. Oh, funny if I told you some of the stories of him being here. We've already had some fucking hilarious times. Uh, I've actually got to talk to his mother, so there's that. Um, that's a whole fucking thing too. No, no, not with side. I mean, I would. But that's not who I'm talking about. I've given him the option. I gave him right of first refusal, but he's so he's so like he wants to do his own thing. He's so Libra, hard headed, Taurusian, Taurus, Libra, hard headed, and he's like, I like being outside, and so that I think for him it's like he can make enough dollars, and he can. I have a friend of mine who'll get him a job tomorrow, and he'll make enough money. He doesn't, and he can work part time, and I was like, that will get you. I'll share a place with you. And he's kind of just like on the fence about it. I'm like, well, I was like, you got to let me know, because if not, I got to make a decision too. You know, because me paying whatever the fuck 1,300 to live by myself is not as comfortable as coming out with 750 to split 1,500 for a 2 bedroom. So I'm like 750 or 1,300. That's a big difference for like how I function in my life. So I'm like, so if you don't want to do it, I can't really afford to keep dropping 1,300. It's not gonna work. So I would live with him, but he's got the whole strong headed. He likes to be outside, but I'm like, dude, it's gonna be winter and you're not gonna like to be outside. I was like, or I could get a place that you can come and spend whenever you want here, but you got to throw me duckets. So it's kind of like that. And the other kid, who has like a legit government job, he works for the fuck, like he's fine. And we're good. We're good. Good company, good people. Like I wouldn't have to worry about. I would have to worry about less with him. Like. But I just got to make a decision pretty soon. It's like, eh. But yeah, Blackstone, you know Saya though. It's really interesting. How about like synchronicities and weird things happen? Because like I didn't know exactly where he was napping at. I didn't know exactly, and City Park is fucking huge, so I didn't know where the fuck he was, and he had lost his phone. I was supposed to go out. I was supposed to go out and have like he's like taking me out to dinner because I helped him out with some things, and all of a sudden like he's not on Instagram and ain't got no phone, and he doesn't, because he's kind of just a little bit not giving a shitness, where he just lost his phone or broke it or whatever the fuck, dropped it. I don't know, fucking know. I think he just broke the screen, so he can't really use it. So he couldn't even call his ma or check his Instagram, which was how he would have got a hold of me. And so I was like, just oddly enough, I'm like, where the fuck should I walk? Like I just start, you know. Like, where the fuck would he be? And I twice ran into him. Like, I was like, actually 3 times. Two times I was looking for him. One time it was just luck of the draw. But yeah, it's pretty funny. So we just end up in like I'll find him. He's not. But the thing is, it would be a really difficult task if I didn't have like some of the synchronistic, synergistic energies with somebody. There's no way I would know where to look at all. This is like I already know. It's broken down to the park itself is 1,300 acres. There's no way that fuck I'm gonna find it. And then the city itself, it's huge. There's no way. You're not just gonna run up. You're not gonna run into somebody. So, anyways, there's that little story. Too many funny things with this kid. So he has an option if he wants to, but if not, I got a couple choices to make. So I'm trying to convince him to fucking at least spend a little fucking time inside, because how often he has to waste money on getting new art supplies or whatever because someone throws his shit out, steals it, breaks it, whatever. But he's so used to being outside that he feels like, I don't know, claustrophobic or something inside. Like he can't be as free as he wants or whatever. I'm like, dude, you could at least keep your fucking paintings inside. You could put some gear in here. You could bathe once in a while. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he just gives less shits about that. I'm like, dude, but you could actually make some money and fucking do some shit rather than like worry about where your fucking next meal is coming from and worrying about your art supplies. So I'm working on that. We'll see. Speaking of working on something, let me go fill this thing up. What do you think? Good idea. Huh? Who else is over here? You got backup in comments here? Okay. Well, as everybody here knows, I do enjoy a beverage, whether it's beer or wine or coffee. Or I do enjoy a roof over my head, and I do have to buy a couple items. If somebody wants to help a brother out, CashApp, PayPal, Venmo, because I'm entertaining, or because if you actually needed help with something, there is I'm pretty much a walking encyclopedia of whatever, whether it's how to cook something properly, how to build things, engineer shit. You know how your body works. Yeah, maybe you're having a problem, but maybe you got some arthritis or something you want to fix. I don't fucking know. If you need help with anything, let me know. There's my email right there, so you can feel like you've actually got a direct service out of me that you could donate in return. If not, just because I'm awesome and entertaining, feel free. Buy me a cup of Joe. Help me keep the roof over my head and get myself a hoodie for the cold weather here. Well, if nobody else is talking here, I might just call it a show because we're in 2 hours, and I do have a couple more texts and emails to tend to currently. So I guess I'll just end it here, but I will do a third show after I check out all the election results, the selection results, so I can make some jokes about that. But it was awesome talking to everybody. I'm happy that everybody showed up here. Black Sun and Nick Sun and everybody else that was here in the background. You know how this works. 3 things you can do here in life. They're rules, but they're not really rules. They're just suggestions. One is I suggest to be yourself. Be as weird as possible. Enjoy yourself. If you don't want to, don't do it. And if you feel like you have a lot, you'd like to donate or give away, give that to me. But if you don't want to give it to me, give it to somebody else. Make their day. Make somebody happy. We don't have to make them happy. Try to help them be happy. And there's all the information you'll need on the bottom and in the description box. Good to see everybody. I'm gonna get out of here. I got a couple things to do, but I'll try to be back on here later. Toodles, you know what I'm saying? Bye.